Hello, how are you? Welcome back to Crafters TV. Are you having a good weekend? I'm having a fantastic weekend. I hope you are too. Not having very good weather, but it's fine. It means extra time inside, doesn't it? Doing plenty of crafting. This is a craft house, of course. It's when we throw wide the studio doors and invite lots of special guests into the studio. And this is a very special one because with a very special lady, but it's also with a brand new collection as well. Sharon Callis is here. How are you doing, Sharon?
Hi Joe, how are you? I'm great.
Yeah, really good, thank you. Glad to see you. You're a little sort of ray of hot pink on what is a wet Saturday evening here in the northeast. How's things there in Ireland?
Well, very wet, but I wanted to brighten things up a bit here tonight. And
you always brighten things up, Sharon.
Well. I try.
And now, just before we get into it, brand new collection. I'm going to go through the details in just a second. Just before we see it, what's the inspiration for this new collection? Where did you get your creative juices from for this one?
Well, everybody knows that I love flowers, and everyone should know by now as well that I love fairies. So I thought that I would combine the two together and just bring something that's a little different, that has various dimensions as well. And you also know that I like to put little Easter eggs into my creations. So in this collection, while they are called flower fairies, there's just so much more you can do with them as well. So I'm looking forward to showing you all that.
Ah, excellent. Right, I'm just going to quickly run through the details, let everyone know how to order. If you want to go and get your order placed right away, loads of you ordered before the show. crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu is where you need to get to. Hit that shop the show button. You'll see everything. I do need to let you know already 10% of this launch stock has gone before we've even gone live, before you've even seen Sharon go through it. It is the launch. You haven't seen this anywhere before as well, so it's your first opportunity to get your hands on it. It is the Flower Fairies collection with 87 elements and 90 sheets in here as well. $89.99 or $110. That's a really healthy saving, but it platinum's all the way down to just under £72, just under $90 is your price here on this one. It's a really beautiful collection. It's a lovely size as well. Don't forget also about bonus points. This is your last live hour to avail of the bonus points promotion. So if you're spending £50, dollars or euros, you'll receive 75 bonus points. Spend 100, you'll receive, no, I've missed one. Spend 75, you'll receive 100. Spend 100, you receive 150. We've been doing this promotion for 3 days and I still can't get it right. It's ending today. By the end of this show, hopefully I'll have worked out how many bonus points you're going to get. That is on top of the Club Inspire points that you'd ordinarily receive as well. Any questions that you've got about the collection, any questions that you've got for Sharon, get them into me. Crafters TV over on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you're across on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe if you're watching us there as well. Okay then, Sharon, what are we getting included in the bundle, if you wouldn't mind taking us through it?
No problem at all. So in this release tonight, we have 3 flower fairies. We've got Rose, we've got Jasmine, and we've got Aster as well. So in each little bundle, you will get the flower fairy herself, which comes as a stamp and die set. You also get one of the Quilling Flower dies, and then we also give you a paper pad that is custom designed to go with that flower and that fairy as well. So we're going to start off then with Aster. So in each set then, as you can see, you will get your flower fairy. So this is Aster. Now each flower fairy comes with 3 petal layers as well. You see them there. You stamp these and then you cut them out using the outline dies, which are made to match as well. You can also, if you don't want to stamp, you can just cut out from fabric, felt, foam, flower foam, etc. as well to make your flowers. So you have 2 ways of making them, stamped or unstamped. Each of the flower fairies themselves comes with clothes on their body. So if you wanted to put the petals even behind, like and trail them down like a peacock kind of feather, you can do that as well, and your front of your flower fairy is covered. You also get sentiments. On this one you get best wishes and sprinkle kindness everywhere, and then you get some decorative elements as well, like some flowers, and you get some stems, but you also get their fairy wings. So these are quite detailed, great for your sparkle pens, for your Spectrum Noir collection as well. Use your inks, use your pencils, and just have fun with that. Again, these have outline dies as well. So that's Aster herself. Aster comes then with her Aster flower and foliage. So as you can see that there, it's in the flower itself. You have your stamens and you have your petals. And with all of these double-sided quilling flower dies, you always cut once, you fold it over along the perforation. You can ink up the stamens, or you can leave them as they are, or use your gold or your glitter pens, etc. And then you just pop it on a quilling tool, and when you roll it up, this is what you get, your Aster flower. And as you can see, your stamens in the center then. We've used the Petal Perfection papers, and this is what you will get with Aster. So I've spanned them out just so you can get an idea of what comes in the pack. So in the Aster pack, then you've got 4 colours and you've got 2 foliage. The foliage is 2-tone on this one. Gives you a nice ombre effect when you're cutting your petals. So I suggest you tilt them sideways or put them straight on, and it gives a great effect to the foliage and gives dimension as well. On these 4 petal papers, you have a light center and it gradiates out and it gets darker as it goes out on this, or it's the opposite, it's dark in the center and then lightens as it gets to the tip. This is just to give you some variety in your flowers and to have fun with it. And don't forget, you can also ink these up as well, so don't be afraid to add inks to them, gild and wax, or you can use your glossy highlights to create raindrops, etc. So that one there was Aster, and now we're going to move on to Jasmine. So Jasmine is more like a night fairy. So as you can see with Jasmine there, she's dancing, she's got her lovely dress on, she's a side profile, so her fairy wings are side on and they go behind her, but she's got little things with her as well. She's got her moon and she's got her jar full of lightning bugs. She's got her 4-leaf clover. The sentiments are, I made a wish and thought of you and special friend. And you have a little fairy silhouette here that you can pop in the jar as well, so you can play around with that. And then of course she's got her 3 petal layers. So when you're assembling the petal layers, I'll show you later, you always start with the biggest and then layer up the smallest over it. And again, she comes as well with her outline dies on that. So that is Jasmine. And with Jasmine, then you've got your little orange jasmine flower. Now there's a few varieties of jasmine flower, but the orange jasmine is the only one that actually has a stamen in it. So that's why I picked the orange jasmine. And that's it here. So again, you can just ink up the stamens and there's your petals, and it comes with foliage and the calyx that goes underneath it. Now you can use that, layer up 1, 2 or 3 of those to make another individual flower, but that's designed to cover the quilling workings from underneath the flower, just to make it a little bit prettier and just to finish it off. And the paper pad that you will get with the orange jasmine, again, you've got 2 foliage in here, and they have the ombre effect. But on the orange jasmine flowers themselves, there are 2 varieties. So they're generally a green petaling center that goes to orange, or you've got a yellow that goes out to white. But then I had a little bit of fun with the last 2 here. So and don't forget, you can use these with the orange jasmine or any of the quilling flower dies across any of the ranges. You can mix them up. I've just put them into pads for what I believe goes with the flower itself, but you're not restricted to that, so you can have more fun with those. And don't forget, if you have any edge dies or you have any sentiment dies, they're great fun if you pop them on these, and you get a lovely variegated and ombre effect to your sentiments with these. So then we move on to the last one, which is the lovely Rose. So Rose, as you can see there, comes with a gorgeous little dress on her, and she gets her 3 layers of petals as well. But she also comes with 2 sentiments, wishing you a happy ever after and congratulations. We also have a rose down here that you can stamp with petals, so use this to create backgrounds or stand alone and fussy cut them out. Then we have her wings, and she's got a little spell book there and a love potion up here. And then she comes with her outline dies as well. That's Rose. And then, of course, we have our rose flower, a little bit battered from, under the other boards. But as you can see, that's a Quilling Flower die as well. So again, you start to quill from the smallest to the largest. It has the calyx for underneath, some foliage. And then you can just play around with that as well. This was done, obviously, with the ombre papers. A few little glossy accents on it for a bit of effect as well. And then the papers that you get with rose are these. So we have one green with this, but we also have a brown, because the brown works very well with the yellow. And we have an ombre effect on these papers. So when you place your quilling die on it, and I'll show you later, you could have your large petals on one end, the small petals on the other. So that means when you start your flower, you end up with a dark center with lighter petals on the outside, or vice versa. So they're great fun to play with as well. So that's the papers, and that's everything that you're getting in this collection this evening.
Amazing. Such a beautiful collection. Lots of you asking me questions coming in. A lot of people ordering. Very, very busy at the start of this show. Over 10% of this is now gone. Anne was asking, are the Perfect Petals papers coloured on both sides? Yes, they are, Anne. Brigitte saying, hello from Virginia. Rhonda says, I really love when the fairies, that they aren't cartoony, which is a great point. They are very grown up, which I think is nice. Cheryl says, look forward to seeing the demonstrations on these. Will be a great addition to the Sharon Callis range. Bonnie saying as well, I can't wait to see more samples of these. Loves that they come with dies too. Linny saying, I love that the stamens are within the die. It saves a loads of time trying to thread them through. It really is very ingenious design there from Sharon, which of course what she's known for. Valerie saying, oh my, this collection is gorgeous. Fairy-licious. I love that, Sharon. Fairy-licious. That could be a new phrase for you there. We've also got Kay here, so says, oh, more fairies. I love this collection. And Gilmore saying, absolutely love this collection, from the gorgeous stamps and dies to the yummy papers. If you see as well, when you start to see some of the things that have been created with these, when you think to how you're going to incorporate these into your different card concepts, I think you can create something that's very elegant, very elevated, very grown up actually, which is what someone was saying just there a moment ago. So the samples that have been created are absolutely gorgeous. Let me just share this one with you here. I absolutely love this one. Michelle Milsom has done that one there. Again, think about bringing your other embossing folders that you already have in your collections. They work again well with easels. I love as well how this one's been done, and it's on a little bit of an angle, but it really works even on that slightly different angle, and you're seeing here exactly how you're going to be able to put these together. Love the bunching up of things like the flowers and the extra foliage that's been used here too. What I would say as well, big collection, far and away the best way to get the best value. It's what everyone is going for at the moment. Every single element is available individually. What I actually would suggest you do, because I know you're going to get a load of crafting out of this, I would suggest maybe adding a few of those extra paper pads into your collection. So they are available individually. They are here priced for you £6.99 or £9.95. So you've got in here your Petal Perfection papers, which are these ones just here. So again, you'll see the different colour tones that you've got. So you've got your this one's the jasmine. You've also got the rose, and you have got the Aster there as well. So all available individually as well. You will get your Club Inspired discount across absolutely everything. Don't forget, any more questions that you've got for Sharon about this collection, keep getting them into me, and I'll pop them over to Sharon as we go through. Oh, do you want some exciting news, Sharon?
Oh yes, please.
We've got a giveaway too. Johnny's pulled rank and has said we're going to give away two £20 or dollar vouchers during this show to people that comment along. So yeah, all you've got to do is comment along. Is there anything you want to know from everyone at home, Sharon?
If they want to if they have any questions about the flower fairies or any little hints and tips on making the quilling flowers, just shoot them to me.
Awesome. Get them in. Get your comments in then, and two of you will get drawn at random at the end of this show, and we'll give those two vouchers away. Maybe you'll put that towards this collection. Right, I know you've got lots to share with us and show us throughout this couple of hours, Sharon. So would you like to kick things off?
Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of fun with a bit of vellum and a bit of heat stamping. And I'm going to start off with Rose, because I love Rose. She's my favourite. of the collection. I shouldn't have favorites, but I do, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take my butterfly wings first. I like to start with the wings, and I tend to colour the wings first, and then I colour the fairy, because you like to play with colours and in the wings, and then it kind of, whatever the dominant colour is, then I like to put it into the clothes. So that's just the way I do it when I'm starting off. So I've got my Stampin' Platform, and these are absolutely fantastic for things like this because of the length of the stamps and the width as well. So all I'm doing is I'm taking the Harmony water-based ink in black. Now you can use the white or the watermark stamp as well, but I'm just going to use the black one because I'm using black embossing powder. So if I miss any of the embossing powder, which sometimes happens with me, then it doesn't show up too much. So I'm just going to stamp in the center, giving it a good press down like that. And it's very faint, but the thing I like about it, because it's on vellum, it's not going to dry straight away. So it gives me working time then with the embossing powder. So I'm just going to use a card here, and I'll put that down on just so you can see it a bit easier. So I'm just going to any black embossing powder, and I'm going to tilt it to the side and just let it run down it like that. And then just give it a gentle tap, and that gets rid of all the excess. So because it's vellum, you have a lot more working time on it than you do with paper. And I'll just pour this back in, because anyone who's worked with black embossing powder knows it gets everywhere and into everything. Right. So I'm going to heat emboss this. So I'm going to start at the corner, and it turns fairly quick as well. And just work my way down. You'll see it get darker. And work across. And then up the centre.
Again, it's such an effective technique, isn't it, Sharon, embossing? Like, I know a lot of people talk about it being the one thing that got them into crafting in the first place.
Well, I mean, can you imagine, the fun and the versatility with the heat embossing? And you can use it with all your stamps. So it's a technique that you can use forever in everything that you make. And that's why I like it. Because some techniques you learn and it's very limited. But I'm just going to put that stamp back on the carrier sheet. Then what you do then is we have outline dies. And these outline dies then, all you do is you place it over and you line it up with the edges evenly, and then you run that through your Gemini, and these are the wings that you end up with. Now, they're quite transparent. I've done it on pink. You can do it on white. But then all you do then is, with vellum, you get your tri-blends or your classiques or anything, and then you just colour them in. You colour them in the same way that you would with your papers, and you can do your shading, etc. But what I love apart from that is that it takes the sparkle pens really well, and so you don't have to sit here and watch me colour. Here's one that I did earlier, so I'll just bring that up to the camera so you can see. So I've done all the shading with the tri-blends, but I've used the glitter pens on the tips of the wings. But you can see it's quite transparent, and that gives a lovely illusion to the fairy wings as well. So when I've done that, then I actually went along and I took the skirt petals and I did the same thing. So I heat embossed them, and then I put the glitter pens on them as well. So I'll see if I can get to show you the shimmer on that now. My lighting isn't great here. There you go. So it gives them a lovely shimmer. But before I put them on the fairy, I want to shape them. And this is important when you're doing the fairies, to add a little bit of shaping to the petals, and it gives the skirt a little bit of lift. So I'm going on the reverse, and I'm using the ball tool. I'm actually using the largest one, And all I'm doing is rolling it in the center because you can see it creases quite easily, vellum. So I'm just giving it a little roll, and that's all you need in that to give it a little bit of bounce. So I'm going to do that with all of the layers, just giving a little roll, because I don't want to rip vellum as well, because vellum can rip quite easily, and then just use the smaller tool down here. So that's giving me the curve and dimension in the vellum. And then of course we have Rose herself. Now I've coloured Rose in with the dark red blend and the flesh tones in the tri-blends, but I'm going to use the glitter marker on her hair, or the Spectrum Noir sparkle marker, and I'm using the Essential Brights one here. So this is the gold one that's in it. And if anybody hasn't used these pens before, they come with this yellow ring on them. So all you do is you open the pen, remove the yellow ring, then you close down your pen, and then you just pull it apart. And in the barrel here, then that's where you'll see the ink come through, but you need to prime it. So all you do is you give it a gentle little squeeze, and you'll watch the nib of the pen fill up with the colour. So I'm giving it another little squeeze there now, and then we're ready. And then I'm just simply going to colour her hair.
Some questions coming in, Sharon. Suzanne is saying, did Sharon colour the wings on the embossed side, or did you colour them on the reverse side? Good question there from Suzanne.
I coloured them on the embossed side because it kind of prevents the colour from running.
Okay, cool.
So I've done it on the embossed side. So that's our fairy there now. And you know, I'm going to give her a little bit of movement, a little bit of shape. So I'm really just going to lift up the arms a little bit, and I'm going to curve her body down the centre. And that just adds a little bit more shape to her. And then we're going to add the skirt. So what I'll do is I'll just put down a blank piece of paper here so people can see this a bit easier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the wings on first, but I'm going to actually use a little foam pad behind, so there's a bit of dimension depth between the fairy and the wings themselves. So just down the centre, and then remove that. Get your tweezers out, and just give them a little curve. And then when you're placing the fairy on it, hold the wings in your hand, and then move her up and down to where you think they should be. And I'm going to go for here. And then with the foam pad, they will actually bend back, as you can see there. So it just gives it a little bit more. And then we'll start with the skirt. Now, vellum can be tricky to glue down at times, but I'm going to use the tape pens just for speed here, but I recommend using quick drying glue. So when you're layering it up, now we have belts on her. Do you know what? I'm going to give her a little bit of gold there as well along her belt line as well. So just going along here and along here. I love these glitter pens, sparkle pens. I'm going to be shot, Joe, if I don't say it right. So then we're going to layer up the skirt. So we stop with the largest layer. Then we're going to go with the next layer. Now you can do this with foam pads if you want, but they'll show through the vellum, so that's why I'm using the tape pen as well. And then finally the top layer. Fairy. Now get a pokey tool and just go under the layers and lift them up slightly to get your dimension in. It just gives a bit more movement to the petals themselves. Now there, and that's our fairy done. So I'm just going to put her to the side, and then I'm going to show you how to make the quilling flower. So this is the rose quilling flower, and as I said earlier, the die itself has a perforation down the center. So that is your fold line. This is a sheet from the Petal papers, and this is the dark red. So as you can see, as I was saying about the two-tone, we have dark red on one end and we have lighter red on the other. And it is double-sided, because I know someone was asking that question. I'm going to give these petals a little bit of dimension as well. So when you're going to make the quilling flowers and you want to do your petals, you get your quilling tool and then you just quickly go down one side. And I love using the Stampin' pad for this because it helps stop the paper from tearing, and you can press quite hard on it. But you have to flip the flower over and then do the other side. Just like that. So don't worry too much about the creases at the moment, because you'll be doing more shaping when you assemble the flower. So that's it. That's as easy as it is to do that. Now you can add inks to it at the side if you want, or the tips, or your glossy accents. And then we're just going to fold it over on itself. And because it's joined down the middle, you don't have to worry about the alignment. You don't have to worry about adding glue down the center to keep the petals together, or the two layers. That's already done for you. And that's what you end up with. You end up with a strip ready to quill. So you get a quilling tool, you can use a tweezers if you want, or you put red liner tape on it and use a cocktail stick. I'm starting with the quilling tool, and I do the first turn, but I give the first petal a pinch so that it curves in on itself, just like that. Now I'm going to use liquid glue. You can use the red liner tape, but I recommend the 3mm. But I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down it. You don't need an awful lot on it, because what's going to happen is when you start to quill, the glue is going to travel down the strip itself when you squish it. So the glue will move, and then it's just as easy as this. Then you just quill it, simply turn it. Now this paper is a coated paper, so when you get to the end, you have to hold it a little bit longer than normal to get it to stick, to hold. So you just give it a pinch and just keep it on the quilling tool while you shape the petals. And because the alignment is done for you, when you go and open out the flower, the gaps will all fill for you. See how easy is that? And that's how easy it is to do the rose itself. So that's our rose. And then all we do is we have some of the foliage as well. And here's some that I made as well earlier. So I've made one out of the pink. There's another one out of the dark red, and here's the yellow. So I think we'll put these all together on a card, and I'll show you then how it all comes together. So just a basic card form, and then we're just going to mat and layer some of the black cardstock. That there. Line that up. And then we have a sheet of paper from Sarah's. Now, I can't pronounce this word, Joe. You're going to have to help me with this one.
Chinoiserie.
Chinoiserie.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
It's one of those pads where you're kind of crying cutting it up because the paper is so gorgeous. So that's why I got two. So I don't feel so bad. So then just place that there. And then down the center then I've just made a strip, and I'm going to use foam pads on this. So I'm just going to put 3 on, I think. I won't do a Craig on it. Then remove these. And we're just going to put that down the center, because that's what's going to be the base for our fairy. Center. And then we're going to add our fairy. And again, I'm actually going to use foam pads on the rear of the fairy. So flip her over. Now, you don't have to stick the fairy on a card. I mean, you could add little hooks to the top of her head, and you could make gorgeous in white and blue, you know, Christmas fairies for Christmas coming up, or you want to do little gift tags, or you want to do a mobile. So you can have so much fun with these and do them in more primary colours for kids as well. We'll pop our fairy down the centre. And then we're going to add our quilling flowers. So what I'll do is I'm going to use some of the silicone on the back just for speed, the 3D gel. And then we just add our foliage. Pop that in there, and I think I'll do one down this end. And I think we'll pop a yellow one on just for a bit of brightness. And then we have our sentiment. So I'm going to put congratulations on it. And I'm just going to offset that. So you can add more flowers and more foliage, but that's our little flower fairy card. So I'll show that to the front camera.
Really, really is gorgeous. I love how, as well, having the papers behind there really changes it, doesn't it? And I guess depending on what papers you marry it with, Sharon, is going to really change the way they look and feel. But very, very grown up. A lot of the comments are saying they're really pleased to see angels, but fairies, but them not be sort of cartoon style. They are quite refined and elegant, aren't they?
Well, I wanted to have a more grown-up look so that there was more scope, that you could use them as dancers, or even, as you said, you maybe turn them into angels, you know, for Christmas, or leave off the wings and you've got a ballet dancer. If you were to do the skirts, the petal skirts there, in a bit of felt or netting instead of paper, you could have a lovely little ballet dancer there.
Yeah, absolutely. So many different ways to use them. Getting very, very busy now. I'm going to take you back through what you're getting. We are on our way to a fifth of this stock going. This is the first opportunity you've seen. First time you've seen opportunity you've had to get your hands on them. First time you've seen them. Very, very busy start to the show. Let me take you back through the different collections that you've got. So remember, you've got that main stamp and die collection for each of the three different themes. This one here being the Aster that you can see. Really beautiful. You've got all of your stamps in here. You're going to be able to use the stamps on their own, use the stamps in conjunction with the dies. I love here how the wings are much flatter here, and then you've got the opportunity to build up all of those layers. Beautiful illustration and design, which is exactly what we expect from Sharon. You then have your Aster Quilling Flower, which is going to accompany that as well. And again, loads of dimension. Really brilliant that you've got the stamen within there too. You can really manipulate that. Think about doing these, especially the foliage, maybe in things like your vellums as well, are going to look beautiful. Then we have the next collection here. Now this is the Jasmine, which is beautiful. This one's been coloured up in the yellow. Of course, it's completely up to you how you colour these. You've got all the little embellishments within here. You really have got something that's going to enable you within each of these to create a full project, which I think is absolutely awesome. You've then got your orange jasmine flower within there too, again with the stamens. Matches my shirt, that one, doesn't it? Then we also have in here included, of course, for you the rose. Really gorgeous. Really love those big statement wings that you've got on this one just here. And remember, all of the different dies to enable you to cut everything out. You then have the rose included in there too. You can see here, really beautiful. And you can really make these quite full and lush, these flowers. Remember then as well, what you're getting is you're getting the 3 pads for each of these. These are your Petal Perfection pads. They are double-sided. I love that they're coming to you as well in a variation of different colour tones, because you know you can colour your flowers up exactly as you wish. Of course, you can ink your own cardstock and cut that and use that to quill with if you so wish. You've got the option to do that too. And then finally, you've also got this one just here, which is absolutely gorgeous. You get all of that included for that amazing price that you can see there. Should be £119.91 or $143.55. Everyone gets a great saving on the collection, takes it down to just under £90 or $110. And then of course, everyone going to be able to use their Club Inspired discount too. Platinum members looking at less than £72, just under $90. Don't forget also about the bonus points event that we've got running at the moment. Spend £50, dollars or euros, receive 75 bonus points. Spend 100, spend £50. Well, I was able to do this yesterday, Johnny. I haven't managed to get this right all day. Spend 50, get 75. Spend 75, get 100. Spend 100, get 150. Oh, whew. Right, let's see what everyone's saying in the comments. A lot of love for that. Evelyn saying how much she likes Quilling Flowers. Pamela saying how much she loves it as well. Cindy says this is like making paper dolls. Ali loves 3D fairies. Penguin's loving it as well. Question from Carol, Sharon. Carol's asking, what stamping pad did you use to stamp onto the vellum? Is there any ones we should or shouldn't use?
Well, I like, if you're going to use an embossing powder, I've used the water reactive, the Harmony water reactive one, because it stays wet for longer. If you use the quick dry ink ones, they'll absorb in fairly quick. They might still smudge though. Okay, awesome. But you've a better chance with a quick dry of it not smudging. But this will, unless you use embossing powder.
Fabulous, thanks. Brenda says that I love Sharon Callis. Her ombre papers are fabulous and help my succulents look great. Sharon, you're never going to believe this. You know, last time you were on and we did the succulents collection together, you inspired me. I went out and bought a succulent. I only killed it.
That's a Guinness World Record, Joe.
How do you kill a succulent? The thing is, I think, because people say don't water them too often, I didn't water them at all. I didn't water it at all. And I went back to it as I was coming to work the other day, and it was just laid outside of its pot, unfortunately, yeah. Someone said water it, it'll come back to life, but I'm not so sure. It looked quite crispy when I left, so maybe I need you to make me one and send it over, maybe. Beautiful card, says Lynn. Mary says absolutely gorgeous card. Jen M saying great for dance recital cards. That's a wonderful idea. Laura says amazing colour combo. Susan loves this collection. Ali as well, loving the collection as well. A lot of you with this in your baskets at the moment. I'm going to urge you to check out. I know you don't want to miss any of Sharon's demonstrations. Almost a fifth of the stock has gone. So what I'm going to do is just give you an opportunity to check out your baskets. Whilst I do that, let me share with you all the details of US delivery.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Very busy there. Lots of you taking the opportunity to check out those baskets. Let me just quickly share with you some of the samples that I've got here in the studio, because the design team, you can tell, have absolutely loved these. Some really, really gorgeous ones here. I love how they've been used sort of on an angle here and sort of a little higher on the card. Really makes them look like they're flying, which is beautiful. And again, you can see here, going to be great in all of your different card concepts, I'm thinking too. So all of your different ones that you want to make. Definitely using these on scrapbooks, I think would be great. On boxes, I think they're going to look fantastic too. They are something that's going to be truly versatile. You're going to colour these up exactly how you want to. So really going to take you all the way through the seasons as well, which is awesome. Right, lots of you still chatting away with me in the comments. Remember, we're going to give away some vouchers for the end of the show. So all you need to do is leave a comment and we will pick 2 at random at the end of the show. Well, I say we will. Our social media superstar for this hour will, and that person is the lovely Amy, who will be picking those out for us very shortly. Right, Sharon, very busy. I know you've got lots to share with us. What would you like to show us next?
I think we'll do some make a card with Aster.
Nice, sounds great.
She's really cute. So the Aster flower fairy. So basically what you do is you stamp out Aster, her wings, and then the 3 petal layers that I was talking about earlier, and then we're going to colour them in. So I've already done that just to save some time. So here's Aster herself, and I've gone pink with her, and then we have our 3 layers and we have our wings. Now, do you remember, Joe, I said that I like to put little Easter eggs into my designs?
Oh yeah.
Well, if you get on the wings of all of them, if you turn them upside down, you put 3 gems there, you've got butterflies.
Oh yeah. Very clever.
Yeah, so if you want to leave Aster out of the equation and just create a card with butterflies, you can do that with the wings themselves.
Very
so
clever.
That's another way of using them. Or you can take your layers off the skirts and then stamp and layer them up in a circle, wind them round, and you've got flowers as well, because they've got the curve on them. So you can mix and match petals as well. So you can make separate flowers, or you can make butterfly wings as well and just have her as a dancer if you want it. But we're going to make dancing flower fairies. So I've coloured her in, but what I'm going to do then is with the sparkle pens, and I'm going to use, this is called Macaron, and this is from the Antique Vintage. So I'm just going to add some extra over the colouring of her clothing, just to give it a little bit more dimension. And I think it just adds something extra to your colouring as well when you put the sparklers. And they are flower fairies, so fairies have to sparkle. So just a bit on her shoes. And then on the skirts then, I've coloured them so the tips are darker. So I'm going to put the glitter on the bottom going up, just in the direction of the darker shade. Not too much, just a little bit on the tips. And I'm flicking the pen up so that it goes to a nice point at the end. And already you can see that it's just adding more depth of colour to the wings, or to the petals. And these have the outline die, but if you want to fussy cut the petals apart and play with them as well, you can do that. And then just a little bit on the top one, because the smallest petals are always on the top layer. Now I've put 3 layers on the fairies, but you could double up on them if you wanted, and you could do them front and back and make it all around if you're making an aperture card, just so you have something on the back as well. So with the paper, like with the vellum, I think it's best to always add a little bit of dimension to the petals to give them lift. Sorry about that now. So I'm going to flip them over, just make sure they're dry. So I'm just giving them a little tap. Yeah, they're dry. And I'm just going to rub the small end of the ball tune down the center. And that lifts up the tip of the petal there. So rub it up and down, and it'll lift it up for you. I'm keeping my finger here on this end just to hold it in place so it doesn't grip. And then when I bend it over, I'm just going to give the top a little pinch. So that gives it its curve and its flat piece that goes on the body. So then we take the next layer, do that again. So they lift, give it a pinch. And then for the top layer then, because it's quite small, I'm just going to use my hand to just give that a little pinch in. Right, so that's all our layers then. So we can assemble our fairy. Again, I'm just giving her a little twist in my hands just to give it a little bit of movement and a little curve to the body. There's her feet. Right, so we're going to start at the back with the wings, and I'm going to use the foam pads again. I'll use these ones. I had little ones. Oh, there they are. The backing paper is all the same, so and when you're as blind as me, Joe, it causes problems. So then we're going to add this. So they're quite simple to put together and they're quite quick to put together as well. And you can mix and match the wings and the flowers across all the fairies. So you don't have to just stick with the one set. That's why having the collection is a good idea, because you can play around with it then.
Some questions coming in. Deborah Spencer's asking, how tall roughly are the fairies, Sharon?
Okay, so they are, so I'll put it here. This particular one is 6 inches. They will all fit on 5x7 cards.
Excellent.
So that's the basic height then. She's the tallest because her arm reaches up. But definitely they're designed to fit on 5x7 cards at a minimum. Right, so when I'm putting these together then, because this is the longest petal, it's going on the bottom. Now, if you're happy enough to leave it at one layer, you can. I like to build these up. And you'll see now when I put the next layer over how adding shape to the petals just gives it a whole new look. And then we put this on top. So there we go. And that's our aster.
Really, really gorgeous, and really nice. That gives it such a different look and feel, even though it's the same die. I guess playing around with the shaping and the composition of these, you could come up with all sorts of different configurations, I'm guessing, Sharon.
Yeah, all sorts, and all colours as well. You could do rainbow coloured skirt on her. You could do the pink. I've done the pink because it'll match the paper that I'm going to use. But even doing all of her on a white vellum and using it as a window hanger with the sun coming through, they'll be absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, people are also talking in the comments about using it as maybe even using flower forming foam for the skirt would be another great way of doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. The stamps, generally for paper, but because of the outline die and the way the outline die works, you can just go ahead and use that then directly onto the flower foam and make the flower skirts or make regular flowers as well. So there's a dual purpose for them. Well, triple really. So you can use it with the stamps, you can use it on its own, or you could use it with flower forming foam to just make general flowers.
Fantastic.
So it's a triple use die. Okay, so here's our aster quilling flower. And as I was saying earlier about the stamens, so obviously when you cut it out, the stamens are going to be more or less the same colour of the paper. But I'm using the Harmony Water Reactive. I'm using Grasshopper. Now you can use the quick dry inks, but I'm using the Grasshopper one here. And I'm using the foam daubers. I absolutely love these. And then I'm just daubing it into the pad, or you can put the pad on the glass mat and rub it in. But I'm using this way. And I'm just dabbing the paper, and it will take the colour really well and it will turn it green. Just like that. So that gives you your green stamen. Or you could use gold, or you can use glitters. I'm going with the green. And that's all you have to do really with that. And then we're going to fold this over. Now, and I'll show you a different way of shaping the petals on this one if you don't have a ball tool and you don't have a foam pad. So folding it down the perforated line, and because it's double-sided paper, when you fold it over, you've got the same colour on both sides, and again, it's all perfectly aligned for you, and you don't have to glue layers together, and it's ready for quilling. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my nail and flicking it like that. So I'm bending it into it and flicking out the tips. So I'm flicking them all together, but I'm flipping them up. So when I quill it, they'll all be faced in together like a closed flower. If I wanted the blooms to open out, I would just do it on the reverse. So if you want the petals to be forming inwards, you pull it towards you. If you want the flower to be an open flower, you just do it the opposite way. So now we're just, again, popping it onto the quilling tool, giving it a little start, holding it with my finger, and then getting my glue. I'm using the Collal tacky glue, and I'm using it in one of the handy little precision bottles, and I've ripped off a petal there. That can happen if you go too heavy with the forming, and also if you have long nails like I do. And then we just, like the other one, you quill it up. All the quilling flowers form the same. It's just the same method. You cut, you fold, you roll, hold on the quilling tool for a minute, and as I was saying, all the petals are facing in because of the way I formed them, and then we just go around and we can open them out slightly like that, and you'll see in the center is the stamens in the green, and that's your aster flower. So then you can finish that off then with the foliage and the finisher. So we have one of those here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on it, and then I just place my flower on top and I let that dry, and then I can add some shape to that. And when that's done, these are the type of flowers that you end up with the finishers on the bottom. And then I've die cut the foliage from the paper pad again, and you can see the different tones and the ombres that come through from the green, and that just gives it a little bit of interest behind the flowers. So we'll pop her onto a card. So what I've done is I wanted to do an aperture card, but kind of with a difference. So I got basically the stamping card and I folded it in half, but I got then, now these are the torn edge oval Crafter's Companion dies. So what they're layered and nesting dies. I've used the largest, the next one down, but I'm going to use them in reverse. So what I did was I placed the smaller one into the center of the card. I'll get my tweezers for this. I placed on the center of the card and I put that through the Gemini to cut out the center. Then I wanted to add a pink layer to the front of the card, but I want another aperture there that will show the white part of the card, if you follow me. So to measure that, I opened out this, placed this inside, lined it up where I wanted it, but I closed it over, and as you can see the pink, and you just get a pencil, and because this bit has been cut away, I just traced 4 sides, took out the pink, got the next size die up, placed it over the pencil lines, and just lined it up so that the center of the pencil lines, if you can see that, just to give you a rough indication, I taped that down and I put it through the Gemini, and this is what I ended up with. So then you end up with a layer for the outside, and you still have your aperture. So I'm going to stick that down. Just use some tape. And then line it up. And because they're the jagged edged, it's a lot more forgiving if you're a little off balance. But then again, I wanted another layer. So I just did the same method, cut my piece of paper to size, placed it in the back, in the center, where I judged it needed to be, drew with the pencil, cut and used the largest of the dies, and then I cut that out. So that's how I got the 3 layers into it. So then I'm going to place that down then over, just line that up. And now we have our aperture. And then just for the inside of the aperture, take another sheet of the pad. Joe can pronounce it better than I can again. Chinoise. How do you pronounce it, Joe?
Chinoiserie.
Chinoiserie.
Yeah, it's the early 1900s Western interpretation of Far Eastern culture. Don't you know, Sharon?
Oh, very, very posh.
Very posh indeed. That's me. I'm all class, me.
So there's our Aperture Card. Now, we get our fairy first. So as you can see, her feet touch the bottom and her hand touches the top. And they're the points where I'm going to glue her down. So a little bit of glue on her hand, a little bit of glue on her foot. And then I'm going to line her up. And then just hold that for a second. Just let the glue grab. And then when you open her up, you can push back the wings. So that's, I'll just bring it up a bit closer so as you can see. And then I'll just show you the inside. Whoop. It's a bit longer. But that's the inside then of the card.
Really, really gorgeous. I really are 2 brilliant, stunning cards, Sharon, and both of them look and feel very different, which I think goes to show you just how versatile this collection is. It is still very, very busy across on the website at the moment. Remember, you're going to get the full collection for that price you can see there on your screen, $71.99 or $88 for platinum members. You get absolutely everything here included. So you've got all of your stamps and dies, you've got your Quilling Flowers, and you've then of course got your paper pads within there as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Do get your orders in. If you want to place your order, now's a great time to do so. crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu, where you'll then be able to get your orders into. Sharon, just adding the flowers on there. The flowers really elevate it, Sharon, don't they?
They do. They just give it a little bit more, and flowers, are my go-to with all my cards. So that's, I'll show it to you there now.
Beautiful. Really gorgeous. So much dimension on there, Sharon. Really, really lovely. Lots of you with very full baskets on the website. I just want to give you a heads up on some of the other stuff that I think you're going to love in this show. You've got a matting and layering collection, perfect to use alongside your Sharon Callis Flower Fairies collection, £20 or $30. Maybe you want to colour up these fairies with the colour blend pencils. Half price. That's the whole collection, 120 pencils there. You're looking at 50 pence per pencil, off the chart value for money right there. We then have the Finesse alcohol proof ink pads available for you. These are going to be great for if you want to stamp and then use your alcohol markers over the top. They also work well with those pencils that I've just shown you there. Save 15%. That's all 4 of them in the collection there. $16.96 or $23.63. Got a stamping plate collection for you. I believe in here you're getting the 4x4 and the 6x6 platforms alongside the stamping mat there, which is great spongy mat to stamp against. Maybe you want somewhere to store your stamps and dies. In here, this is your large die and stamp folder with 2 packs of the magnetic panels in here. Great for you to store all of your dies, going to keep them really nice and pristine. We do have a smaller version for you as well, same configuration, smaller size, $19.98 or $21.94. Right, it's getting busier and busier as we move into the second half of this show now. I need to let you know, over 1/5 of the stock has now gone. I am going to give you an opportunity to check out your basket. So whilst you do that, here's how you can watch and shop at the same time.
Hi, I'm Sarah from Crafters TV, and I'm here to show you how you can get the best deals and shop while you watch during our shows. The best way to watch us is always on Crafters TV. So head over to our homepage and go to Crafters TV Home, where you can see all of our shows, plus exclusive offers, and even shop while you watch. Now, if you want to get involved and comment along, you can head on over to our community pages. Come say hello, ask us some questions and chat along live with us. Or you can watch us on YouTube. Simply head to our Crafters Companion YouTube channel. Got a smart TV? You can even airplay our shows direct onto your big screen or stream us live through YouTube. We're constantly adding new and exciting shows to our schedule, so don't forget to check in. It's never been easy to have us in your living room. It's always fun here at Crafters TV, so come join us as we create every day. Welcome to Club Inspire, the Crafters Companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
All the details on how to watch the fabulous club that is Club Inspire. Very, very busy. Lots of you ordered before the hour. Approaching a quarter of the stock gone. Lots of you ordering in the show. And this is our launched stock. This is our global launch stock when it comes to Crafters Companion as a whole. It's a first opportunity you've got to see these and get your hands on them, and you're absolutely loving them. Sharon, if you'd be so kind, would you take us back through everything that's included in here? Would you just also recap for anyone joining us what your inspiration was for this collection, what you were thinking about, what you wanted to achieve when you put this together?
Well, everybody knows, as I said, that I love my flowers and I love my fairies, and I wanted to create something that I could bring those two together, and that's where I came up with the concept for the flower fairies and the versatility of them. So not only do you have your fairies and the basic elements for that, but the flowers that you can dress them in and you can play with and you can have fun with and mix and match. As somebody said earlier, it's like doll dress up, and that's exactly what it's like. So you can stamp and cut with paper, you can do it on card, you can do it on vellum. If you have your flower forming foam, you could have fun with that as well. So it's really a collection that's only limited by your imagination and how you can put it together.
Awesome. And we get absolutely loads, don't we, in here, Sharon? Would you mind taking us through exactly what we're getting?
Sure, no problem. We have, in this release, we've got 3 essential flower fairies. We've got Aster, Jasmine, and we've got Rose. So we're going to start with Aster here. So in each collection, you will get, in the same pack, you will get some stamps and outline dies. So this is Aster. And I'm tilting it sideways because the light is causing a reflection, so I want you to be able to see the stamps. So you get Aster, so this is Aster here, and she's already wearing, you'll see there, some little shorts and a top as well. So if you want to put the petals maybe behind and have them fanning down as a long skirt, she still has something to protect her modesty, as they say, on the front for there. So each of these fairies then comes with 3 petal layers. So you have a small, a medium and a large, and these all get layered together. She also comes with her own set of fairy wings. And you have then some decorative elements in the background. So we've got leaves, we've got cherries, we've got fairy dust. And we also have 2 Aster stamps as well, with the stems for those. And then each of them comes with 2 sentiments. So this one is sprinkle kindness everywhere and best wishes. And of course, then we have the outline dies. So the outline dies are for the petals, for the sentiment, for the body silhouette shape as well. And then, of course, for the wings. So that's Aster. And then Aster then, of course, comes with her own flower, which is a Quilling Flower die. So the stamen is included with the Quilling Flower die, and each of the flower dies has a double side with a perforation down the center, which means that using the petal papers, which are coloured the same on both sides, you just cut once, you fold along the perforation, and then you just quill it up, and you can shape it, you can ink it, and it comes then with calyx or finisher, which goes on the base to hide workings. And then we've got some foliage as well, so just some leaf. And then this is the assembled flower itself here. So that's Aster. And then, of course, the papers that I mentioned, each of the fairies comes with their own curated set of papers. So you've got, in this one, you've got 2 greens for foliage, which is a light and a dark, and both are an ombre. And then we've got 4 petal colours. So we have yellow, purple, pink and red, which they either are light in the middle and dark on the tip, or they're dark in the middle and light on the tip. So it gives 2 different tones to the flowers. Then we have Jasmine. So Jasmine then is a side profile, and her wings go behind her as well, like, you know, so they're on a side profile. If you wanted, you could cut 2 together and stick them together, you know, if you wanted a front profile for one of the other fairies. This comes with, again, 3 layers of stamps to create the skirt, but she also has a moon. She's got a jar here with some lightning bugs in it. A little fairy here you could probably stamp into the jar. And then her sentiments are, I made a wish and thought of you, and special friend. And also I should say that each of the fairies comes with their name stamp as well. And then these are the outline dies for the skirt, the sentiment and the body shape. So use these as well for creating backgrounds. So if you make your own inked backgrounds, you can use these little stamps to add detail and build up a scene for that. So like if you wanted to do maybe a silhouette, stamp it in black, but I'll just show you really quick. This is one of the fairies cut out in black. So using that for a silhouette card as well is quite effective. So that there is Jasmine. And then the jasmine flower. So there are many types of jasmine flower out there, but the orange jasmine was the only one with a stamen. So that's what I've gone with for this collection. So there's our orange jasmine flower. It's really delicate, really pretty. And that's your die there. Again, quilling die, double-sided, with its calyx and foliage. And you can use these calyxes as well to build individual little flowers. So you don't just have to use them underneath. You can also have fun building flowers with that. And then these are her papers. So again, we've got 2 greens here in a different effect this time, with the ombre going up and down. And then we have, you know, a green center goes to orange, goes to white, or yellow to white, and then a mix into kind of a purple. Because you can use these with the orange jasmine, but you can also use them with any of the quilling flowers that you already have across collections, or use them with your sentiments as well to get some fun effects. So there's a lot of fun that you can have with those. And then finally then we have Rose. So Rose then is, she's wearing a lovely little dress, and you get with her the wings, and again the 3 layers of petals to create the skirt. She comes with a little rose stamp and a little love potion bottle, and says wishing you a happy ever after and congratulations. We have rose stamps down here as well, and we have some petals for creating your backgrounds. And again, we have the outline dies for the skirts, the silhouette, and for the wings. So that's Rose. And then, of course, we have the Rose quilling die in that. And when quilling these flowers, it's always best to quill from the smallest to the largest petal to give you that proper effect of the flower. And then we have her paper. So the tones on these are different. So on the foliage on this one, we have a brown and we have a green. And for the papers themselves, they're full ombre. So if you put the dye down on it, and if you put the small petals on this end and the large ones on this end, when you quill that, you will have light petals in the center and darker as you move out to the edge of the flower. Or you can reverse that and have a little fun and play around with that. And with the quilling flowers as well, when you've quilled one flower, if you want to make it bigger, you just add more strips to the end, and you can keep going. And that way then you can end up with a larger flower for your projects.
Still very, very busy. Actually getting busier and busier as we go through these 2 hours. You guys are loving this collection. Almost a third now of the stock has sold out and gone. So really is amazing. If you want to go for any of this individually, absolutely you can. I'm just going to go through them. I'll give you the details firstly for the Aster stamp and die set. That is available on its own individually. If you want to go for that one, you can. And here are the details for this. I'll just get those details for you. There you are, $22.99 or $24.95. If you want to go for the Aster Quilling Flower on its own, absolutely you can. That is this one just here. And that one's available for you. That one is $9.99 or $12.95. The Aster Paper Pad, that's available on its own individually for you, which is that one just there. Then you've got the Jasmine stamps and dies. Really beautiful, these, very, very pretty. You then also have that Jasmine Quilling Flower, which is that one just there for you. And then the Jasmine Paper Pad is there as well. Then the other one we have, the third one is the Rose for you, which is this one just here. That is the pricing for you. And then we've also got the Quilling die available in the Rose. Available individually, of course, that's that one. And then last but by no means least, we have the Rose Papers available for you as well. Loads and loads of love coming in for this particular collection. Sharon is very clever, talking about the sparkle, adding sparkle overlay. Crafting with Quilling Lady says fairies have to sparkle, that's the rule. Also, Carol says skirts will be sweet done in flower forming foam, as we mentioned. Heidi says, hi everyone, I've been looking forward to Sharon in this new collection. I have the Succulent collection, I absolutely love that. Sure, this one will be the same. Mary Kelly, love this collection, just thinking of my granddaughter again. I can see making a variety of these and giving them to her to send out to her friends. More Christmas ideas. Evelyn says, I love how these fairies are coming together. Maxine suggests maybe using twill for the skirt would look lovely, especially on the rose. Bonnie's loving the demonstration. Sylvia says, Crafters Companion, you are the best. You've always been very awesome products for crafters like me. Thank you so very much. The fairy set is awesome. Shadiah says, brilliant cards, love it. The versatility is endless, mixing and matching too. These could be framed for artwork or home decor, suggests Gilmore. Cheryl asked if these will go through the Gemini Junior, the Gemini Mini. I believe they all will actually. I was just having a little look at them there, and I believe they will indeed. Yes, Sharon's giving me a knowing nod. So they will all go through the Gemini Mini. It is your got it good. I'll share the details of that with you in just a second. Shirley says, I really love this fairy set. So beautiful and refreshing artwork. Victoria saying these stamps are versatile. I love the sets you can use more than one thing. And Alison says, thinking of all the possibilities of things I can make with these. In fact, talking of the Get It Got It Good, let's share that with you. That's not the Get It Got It Good. Should we try that again? We'll try it again in a minute. Charlotte had a very extreme reaction is all I can say to playing the wrong piece of video there. We've got Charlotte in the gallery today. Say hello, Charlotte. She's saying hello. Johnny, you going to say hi? Johnny's saying hello as well to all of you at home. It's been a very strange day. It's been a very strange day today, Sharon, because I've been here on my own all day in the studio. So I haven't had anyone with me all day for my first two shows. And now you're the first person I've seen. So you know, like when you've been cooped up in the house all day and you see someone for the first time, you get a bit overexcited. That's what it's like here in the studio today.
Well, Joe, you get to leave the house.
True, but at least you've got probably the dog and the family around at least anyway.
Oh, I do, yeah. I've locked the door so that I can get a little bit of peace, and they're all trying to be quiet. Really trying to be quiet.
Right, should we try that Get It, Got It Good again? It's quite ironic really, the Get It, Got It Good, we haven't got it. We haven't got the piece of video anyways. So have we got a still of the Get It, Got It Good? Just bear with. Just bear, we'll get there. Gilmore says, Joe, I have to say again, your card from earlier was inspiring and fantastic. I hope you continue to craft with us. Only in emergencies, Gilmore, I think. It's a lot of pressure. I got very, very sweaty palms. Right, we have got the Got It, Get It, Got It Good. Here we go. Here it is, it's the Gemini Mini. You're going to get the folders included in here, you get the purple shim as well. And also, because it is the Get It, Got It Good, you also get that carry case in there as well, which is brilliant. You're getting that carry case totally free of charge, worth $12.99 or $15.95. So make sure you snap it up. We're going to launch a brand new Get It, Got It Good, of course, on Monday during Wake Up Calls. So make sure you join, I think it's Craig and Ben, isn't it, on Monday for that. So make sure you join the pair of them then. $36.97 or $55.85. Platinum's down to less than £30 or $45. Right, Sharon, are you going to spoil us with another demonstration?
Yeah, I think we'll move on to Jasmine now, and we'll play with Jasmine. But I want to show you just a couple of little tips, because something that I do find, and I've seen a lot before online, is people having trouble aligning their dies over their stamps. So what I want to show you is about taking your stamps off the sheet in the first place so as not to overstretch it. So what I like to do is with my sheet, so I'm going to go for Jasmine herself. Maybe if I put this under here, is that better? Yeah. So Jasmine herself, I bend the sheet at the top and I roll the sheet, but I don't pull the stamp. I just put my finger underneath it, and then they will just pop off, okay? Because if you pull that, particularly with these that have a profile, like, you know, legs going this way or that way, if you stretch it, when you go to, and you just put it down on your stamp platform, and if you pull it, your alignment will be off, like. So if I was to put that down here like that, and then I turn her like that, it's not going to work. So just hold her in the center, let her fall on the Stampin' Platform, and then you can press her down. So I'll do that again. So just let it just find its own base. So don't try and place the arms and then place the legs, because you'll find then when you go to stamp it, it could be all skewed and off kilter. So then just going to add a little bit of ink to that, and then I'll just get my harmony. And then when I'm stamping, I just work down the stamp. I like to twist the stamp pad, because if I was to go straight down, I could end up with ink here, there and everywhere. So I like to twist the pad to go around the profile of the stamp, and then work my way back up, making sure to get the tips of the stamp, and then down. And you can be quite generous with the ink as well. Use your stamping pad, that allows you to put the pressure down. So then I just place her down, and then when I put her on the pad, I like to put my hand in the center there where the X is, and just give it a little press, particularly for the arms and the legs. Just bring it around, and then we have her stamped out. And then it's the same then when I'm removing her from the stamp pad. This is almost dry, one of those baby wipes, and by the way, they can be re-washed and reused again, so I keep them separate. So taking her off, then I don't pull her, just roll her up off the stamp pad, and then she'll keep her form, and make sure that you put her back onto her pad like that. And then to line up the die, I'm just going to trim away the excess so it'll go through my Gemini.
Very busy, getting busier and busier. Everyone, it seems, Sharon, going for the full collection when it comes to these as well. It would be a shame to split them up, wouldn't it? So I think people would be, they're braver than I am to try and maybe pick one or two of these. Everyone so far getting that full collection, which is fantastic. Victoria says, Joe, you are a treasure. I don't know why. Diane says, great tip on getting the stamp off, Sharon. Thank you. What a great tip again about taking your stamp off as well, says Victoria Warren too. So people absolutely loving these demonstrations, Sharon.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody very much. It's great fun to actually be here and be able to do this live, because this is the first time, isn't it, Joe, on Craft House, I've got to actually really demo. So it's like,
normally it's me, you and someone else, isn't it? So it's just you and I.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know. So it's strange, but it's great fun. So when I've got her lined up, obviously I cut her out. Just line the die up over it, and then you cut her out and you colour her up. So this is Jasmine here now, and then, as I said, these are the wings, and these are a side profile, and I've coloured these up with the tri-blends, and then I've taken the copper sparkle pens and added to that. So then I'm just going to add some shape to it. Like I said, it's the same for all of them. You know, you just you stamp, you cut, you colour, but give them a bit of movement. You know, play around with the form, and then when you put them on your card or your project, they just adds a bit of life to them, so they don't look flat. And then we have the skirt. So that's Jasmine there. She's ready to go. So these are the orange jasmine flowers here, and as you can see, the die for this is quite small. I'll just show you the die itself. Here is 2.5 inches. That's one of the smallest quilling flower dies that I've done so far. And I just want to show you, actually, I'll put the die on there's a lot of paper around, and I don't want you wasting paper as well. So don't be afraid to like put this off center and have like different tones, which is what I've done with these offcuts. As you can see, you know, I placed one over the yellow, placed one over the orange, and this one is down the center, you know, with the green there, the tones. But a good trick as well, if you fold this in 3 for this particular one, if you fold this in 3 and you put your die here through your Gemini, when it comes out, turn it over and put it on the opposite side, and you'll have 6 flowers from one sheet of paper. So that's just a little tip for saving some paper for yourself and some time, and you can cut 6 flowers really quickly with them. So what I'll do then is I'll take this one here and just show you how easy it is to put together. So I'm just going to curve the tips of the flower like that, flip it over, and carve the others the opposite.
Just how busy it is getting out there. A third now of our total launch stock has already gone.
Wow.
So if you're watching this at a later date, if you're watching this back after it has aired, I know loads of you join us live for these shows, but many more of you watch them back once they have been once they've gone out live. Do check the website for the stock situation. A third of the stock has now gone. It is the first chance you've had to get your hands on it. Don't miss out on it. If you want to be amongst the first crafters globally to be playing with this collection, you need to get your orders in this evening, would be my suggestion. Really busy. It must be so lovely, Sharon, when you have a collection that's as well received as this one is being.
It is, because I mean the nerves beforehand, because when you're designing, and you know, when you're designing, you'd say, oh, I know I'd love this, and then you get the moment of, well, I might like it, but will everybody else like it? And that's what I love about even the community that's out there, because they'll quickly give you feedback and tell you then. So I do appreciate every one of you, and thank you all so much for your comments, and obviously for purchasing as well. It does mean a lot. Now, sorry, just really quick there, I put an orange jasmine together. Even though it's small, it goes together in the same way as the other flowers, and you just quill it up. But you can see how effective the tones and the paper are. If you're not a colorist, if you don't have inks, this is the pad for you, because it takes all that that worry and all that stress out of trying to make your flowers look different. So we'll pop that together onto a card, and just really quick, because I don't want to show you all how to suck eggs, as they say, but I'm going to make an easel card, and the paper pad that I've used for this is another one of Sarah's, and I absolutely love this one. It's the Beautiful pad with the bees and the flowers, and I think this just goes absolutely perfect with these flowers. As you can see, I've been cutting away on it. I absolutely adore this pad, and it's a pad that I think that you will use all year round and for all occasions. It's absolutely gorgeous. So what I've done is I went in and I got the brown pattern, and I used one of my Venetian lace nesting die sets, and they're on the website and they were on a previous show. So it was the Venetian lace set, and to create an easel card I took the outer die, which is this larger one here, and white stamping cardstock. So I cut 3, so I've got 2 that are plain, and then on the third one then I just put a crease on the top, and then I offset a second crease down the center, and that's the base for my easel. I took the next layer, which is the Decorative Layer Die, if I can get it out here, and I cut 2. So I cut 1 out of the brown paper, and I cut 1 out of this. So this is one of the 6x6 square panels in the pad, and all I did was I turned it sideways and placed the die this way on it, and I cut that out, and that's what gave me my my other frame. So that's for the front. So even if they're 6x6, you can still use them with the nesting dies. So put that to the side there. So really easily I get my base layer, and then I'm going to use tape pen and just a bit at the top, and this is where I'm going to line up the crease there, and when I do that, that gives me the basis then for my easel card. And then for the front part here, I'm going to add just some glue down the bottom part, and then just use the tape pen again all the way down, and then I'm going to line up this flat piece down the bottom. And that's how simple it is to create an easel with nesting dies. So then you end up with your card base like that. So then I'm going to open it up, and on the inside I'm going to put the darker one. And then now I've run out of my dotty tape pens, but what if I would recommend is getting the dotty tape pens for the decorative elements on the outside, and then use your regular tape pen for the center. And then I'm going to line that up with the bee down this end, and then just line that up there. And then before you come up to the top, I'm just going to get my scissors and just going to snip off just the top so that it sits flat. And then I'm going to close over both of these, and this on our top part then is where I'm going to put the other the decorative edged one. Now I've gone along with the Honey Pot ink pad, and all I've done there is and I stick my pads underneath them, and I've just added a little ink to the edge just to make it a little bit darker, and just to lift it up from the white background, because yellow and white don't really stand out that much when they're together. So then I'm going to add this to the front. So use my tape pen, and I said it's better off to do the decorative detail in the dotty pens. And then I'm going to place this on the front. Now just always make sure it's the right way around. I'm going to place that there in the center, and just press it down because I don't want to spread the ink if it's still wet. So that's the basis for our easel card. And then we're going to add our jasmine. So I'm going to use paper pads again for this. Because the wings have a good space at the back, I'm going to actually use one of the larger pads. I think, for this on the rear. So I'll take off that. And this time I'm going to put a small pad on the back of Jasmine herself. As I said, I should have added the wings before I put the foam pads on, but I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to line up the wings on the back because she's side profile. So you just bring in Jasmine. You don't want to put her in the center where there's wing coming out the side. You want to hide that. And then I'm going to tilt it slightly and then just press her down. So that's her wings. And then I have the foam pad on the back. Actually, I'm going to add another one just to give it an extra lift on the rear. So I'll take off these. And I'm going to center her in the middle there. As you can see there, then you've got your beautiful wreath from the paper pad behind. And then we'll put her skirt on now. So she's slightly bent to the side. So layer 1. And said you can stop at layer 1, but I think go big or go home. So go with all 3. And that's our 3. And that's Jasmine. Now we're going to add some flowers. And I'm going to use the silicone for this. Just for speed. So put one at her foot. And you can see all the different tones and colours from these just from the paper pad. And we can add some petals as well. We'll add them underneath. So there's darker petals, there's lighter petals because of the papers. And then just another one down here and a little bit of foliage, and then we'll do the stopper on the inside. So I think it's quite effective having the different colours of foliage in there. Just tuck that under her foot. And we also have a sentiment, but I'm going to put that in the centre. So I'm just going to flip her over. And then the stopper, actually, I want to put about here. So we're going to put 2 small pads onto this. And I'll use a tweezers for this. We'll put one there. And we're going to put another one here. This will work as our stopper. Having Joe trouble with the foam pads, Joe. This is the trouble. I don't think anybody who hasn't had their nails done has this problem. Let me just take off the backing.
I don't think you're alone there with the foam pads. They are friend or foe, aren't they, Sharon?
They are, yeah. Right, so this is our stopper. And then we just add some more foliage and flowers just to finish it off.
Beautiful. Getting busier and busier still as we go through the show. Lots of people loving this. Lena says to have a beautiful pad on the way, as well as the different frames as well. That is gorgeous, Sharon. 3
That's
absolutely
just
stunning cards.
quite simple and effective.
Yeah, really, really awesome. Absolutely gorgeous. So much dimension and depth and interest and texture in every single one of the cards that Sharon's made for us this evening. Victoria says, Patty says, sorry, definitely have to save this show. These stamps are beautiful. Mary Kay says, just love all the different colour combinations. Cherry Duncan, I love your card, Sharon, so talented. And Diane saying, we'll be saving this video to make a card like that one when I get this collection home. Really, really busy. I'm going to quickly whiz through exactly what you're getting in here. And I know Sharon's got a couple of more bits she really wants to try and squeeze in before the end of the show. Let's start off with Aster. So in here you're going to get the stamps and dies for each one of these beautiful fairies, with of course fairies, but all of those floral elements within there too. You're then going to get the quilling die for each one of these, which is fantastic, and the paper pad, which complements it beautifully. Double-sided, really play around with the placement on these to get something that's really, really unique and bespoke to you. This one here is the Jasmine that you can see, so you're going to get the Jasmine stamp and dies, and then you're also going to get the Jasmine Quilling Flower die within there as well. Then you will also receive, of course, as well, that wonderful double-sided pad within there. Then we have Rose, which is this one here. So you've got the gorgeous Rose, and then also that Quilling Flower that goes with that, and then the complementary paper pad as well. It is getting busier and busier as we move towards the end of the show. I'll give you an opportunity to check out in just a second, but I do want to give you a heads up on some of the other stuff that you're loving. The folders, it's always busy for these when we give you one set of the magnetic panels included. Now we're doing a special offer at the moment, a promotion running whereby we give you 2 packs. You get 6 of those panels in there, $26.98 or $34.94 if you want to go for the larger one. If you'd like to go for the smaller one, we have those available for you too, $19.98 or $21.94 if you want to get your hands on those. Right, I'm going to give you an opportunity to check out before Sharon's next demonstration. Whilst you do that, here's all the details of US shipping and also Club Inspire.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you, and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
All the details there of US shipping and also Club Inspire. A lot of love for everything that Sharon's done in the show tonight. Linz is another beautiful card. All of them have been stunning. Shadaya agreeing as well. All your makes have been awesome. Shadaya loves all of your collections as well. Ali really loves the papers. The colours are great. Kathy loving the concepts, and Victoria saying the papers are what got me. The depth of ombre means I don't need to do as much inking, which is fantastic. Remember as well, if you're commenting away, every single person that comments, you're going to be entered into a draw. 2 of you will be winning a $20 or pound voucher at the end of this show as well. So we'll be drawing that out very, very soon. Now, we've got about 20 minutes left on the show, Sharon. I know you've got more that you want to squeeze in, so I'm going to hand back over to you.
Hi, Joe. Yeah.
Hiya.
I'm going to have a little fun with a bit of ink. And you don't mind me my earpieces.
Oh no! Let me give you a second to fix your earpiece. Remember as well.
Okay.
Let me just remind you of what's coming up tomorrow here on Crafters TV, because of course Becky will be here with Bernie first thing midday in the UK at 7 a.m. East Coast time. Brand new launch on that show for you, so make sure you come and say hi to the girls. And then tomorrow, I'm going to be here with Becky. We've got a couple of really special shows coming up for you tomorrow. So we'll be here for my first show. Will be 3 p.m. with the lovely Becky. That's 10 a.m. East Coast time. And then we'll both be back with you as well for my last show for a few days, which will be 7 p.m. here in the UK or 2 p.m. East Coast time, 11 a.m. across on the West Coast. Right, let's see if Sharon can. She can't hear us. It's like Eurovision, isn't it? Can I have the points from the Irish jury, please? I feel like Katie Boyle. Right, let me just run back through those boards really quickly again for you, so you can see exactly what you are getting included in here. So essentially, what I love is Sharon's really made this quite simple for you in the fact that she's given you the same concept in the 3 different styles. So it's one style, but in those 3 different designs, I should say. So you've got the Aster, and what you're going to get, of course, is all of the dies that you need and the stamps in there. Absolutely use the stamps separately, use them with the dies if you wish as well. That is, of course, going to give you that really lovely dimensional look, which is excellent. You then have, of course, in here as well, the Aster Flower, which is brilliant. This one just here is then your Aster pad that goes with this. So what Sharon has done is really curated these pads so that they will match perfectly to the flowers and the fairies that you have within each and every one of the collections. The next one we've got for you is this one just here. It is the Jasmine there as well, as you can see. And remember, with the Jasmine, you'll get the flower and you'll also get the pad. And then the same again here with the rose. So you've got the rose with the flower and also the pad there. It was like Eurovision for a moment there, Sharon. I felt like Katie Boyle. I thought we were going to Ireland. Ireland, do you have your points?
I'll tell you, only me. My computer there decided we're going to do an update.
No. What I was saying to you, Sharon, was I said we've got about sort of 15, 20 minutes left on the show. I know you've got lots that you want to squeeze in before the end, so I'm going to hand back over to you.
Okay, so then we'll do a quick one, because one question I'm always asked about the Quilling Flowers is A, can you do them with plain paper, and B, can you add stamens to them? And the answer to both is yes. So what I'm going to do is I have literally just cut this out of regular stamping card, and I'm going to do blue. Now, I know blue is an unusual colour for flowers, but bear with me, trust me on this. So basically, I'm just going to use ink on the sides. Now, I'm just going to use it on the tips of it, and I'm just going to run down. But when I get to the center, I'm going to cover those petals. And I'm going to do both sides. And then move out, so it kind of replicates what was with the papers. And then just flip it over and do it again. So don't worry about how dark it is in the center. And then move it out. So right to the end. And then we're going to work our way back down. Okay, all the way to the end. So that was the Midnight Blue there, the Harmony Water Reactive Ink. So I'm just going to, as with all of them, fold it in half. Now, because it's stamping card, it's a little harder to fold, so it takes a little bit longer. But you just work your way down, but it does make them a little bit sturdier as well. So we work down to the end. Now, if you have a scoreboard either, you could probably place the strip down the center and use a scoring tool. If you have dexterity issues, which I do actually. So that's our strip there. And I'm just going to, by hand, just curl the top of the petals in. Like that. So that's our strip ready to go. And because it's quite thick, and one thing I will say about the Quilling Flowers, the thinner the paper that you use, like just so you use photocopier paper. When you quill it, you get a smaller flower because obviously the center of it is less dense. If you use a thicker card, you get an actual kind of like a wider and a thicker bloom. So just bear that in mind when you're making your flowers. So then we put this on the quilling tool, and before we quill it up, so people have asked me before about these. So they're stamens and they're on the website, if you can use these with the quilling flowers, and you can. So what I'd suggest is you get 3 and then kind of offset the sizes so that when you bend them over, they're all a different height, and just give it a pinch. Then get your strip of paper and you're literally just hooking them over it. That's literally just it. And then we're going to twist once, and that captures one side of the quilling tools. And then, like, you can use red liner tape or you can use the glue again. If you want an instant grab, use the red liner tape. But then again, that makes the center of the flower thicker. So once you get the first turn, then you've grabbed the second layer, and then you just quill as normal. So just work your way down to the bottom. And as you can see, it's a quite substantial quill that's on this compared to the paper. And then you hold that in place for a while, and then you just fan out the petals again. And you can see the inks then give you some lovely shading in the center of the flowers, and you've also got your quills in the center. So because you've got these quilling strips in the center, I'd hold it a bit longer just for them to stay in place. And what you get then are these, and I think they're absolutely lovely. They're just little buds with the quilling stamens or the stamens in the center of the quill. So I've done that there with the rose die, and we're going to make a rose card, and we're going to do it in blue. So yeah, I know blue is an unusual colour to have with fairies, but then there are some stories with the blue fairy, the red fairy, and the pink fairy. So we use artistic license on it. So if this was for maybe a baby boy card, and I'm using the how do you say it, Joe? I can't say it. I'm never going to be able to say that word. Chinoiserie pad.
Chinoiserie. It's just like that.
Just like that. So using the blue, and I'm just going to add a little bit of inking just to the edge. I'm just flicking it off because I don't want to oversaturate the paper. So just going down the edge with the quilling tool and inking the edges of the papers helps blend the top layer into the base layer of your matting and layering. So just go around the edge like that, and just down to the end. And then it just softens the hard edge. So when I place this paper down now on the base layer, it just softens it into it. Right, that's our 2 layers. Then we're going back to the foam pads for this. So I used the Irish lace nesting layering dies from my collection. I think they're still on the website. So use foam pads on the rear of this. So not too many. I'm just going to put 4 on. So I'm not here all day picking backing papers off. So I'm going to put 4, and I'm going to put this in the center of the card, just like that. And then this was cut with Centura Pearl, so the blue as well. And I'll put 4 on this. And another one. So just take off the backing off that. And just place that over, and that just gives it some layers. So I got our rose, and I've coloured her in blue this time. And you see the wings that are here. I think that will make an absolutely gorgeous butterfly. And all you would have to do is to just bend it up like that, and you could put that on a card as a butterfly on its own and put a few flowers around it. But I'm going to make my fairy. So I'm just curving the wings back, and then I'm going to push her on the back.
What sort of weight of cardstock do you recommend, Sharon, to do the sort of wings and the body to be able to manipulate it like this?
That is the stamping card.
Stamping card, excellent.
Yeah, so I've just used the stamping card because it holds its shape and its form when you manipulate it. And of course, if you're colouring and using your inks, then you don't want it to bleed either. So I recommend the stamping card. And the stamping card is fantastic as well for the card bases. So it's an all-rounder piece of card for your kit. Then I'm just going to bend her over and give her a bit of curve on her legs. But I'm going to take the sparkle pen, and I tell you, this is from the Tint and Tone set, and this is the blue. This is an absolutely gorgeous blue. And I just add it to her waistband. And it's very deep and it's very rich, and I've used it here in the wings as well. And the sparkle off of it is absolutely amazing. So I'll line her up. I think I'll put them there. And then we put her skirt on. So again, I'll just, for speed, I'll use the tape pen. So I'll put that under the waistband. And I've shaped these petals as well earlier with the stamping pad. And then put another one there. And then we put the top one on. Now, if you have time, you could actually put foam pads behind these just to give them a bit more. And then we'll add her to the front. I'll use a larger pad this time. These stamping pads are fantastic. So I'm going to put one behind her head. And then push another one here behind her legs. And then we'll add her to the front layer, and then we'll add some flowers to that. So these are the flowers that I made earlier, and I'm going to open out the petals on the outside more, and I'll leave the center ones kind of in place, and they'll help the stamens stand upright. But I think that the colour, just by adding ink to the white card, is quite effective as well. So I'll add one here. And then we have some of the foliage as well. I'm going to leave that white. I'll put that under here. Whoop. Just chuck that in there. And then we'll go down the bottom with this one. So you can make, with these flowers, you can make flowers that suit your papers and your projects as you see fit. As well, and don't be afraid, like I'm using rose with rose, but you can use all the flowers on your cards as well. You don't have to stick with just the one flower with the one fairy, and then any other flowers that are across the ranges as well, you know, fit right in. Because when I create ranges, I like to think that when I make something, that you can use it forever with anything that is used across the ranges. And that's her. So that's a blue rose card.
Beautiful, Sharon. Really, really.